certainly is. How you doing? Good to see you. Let's get to the news, shall we? I was just kind of listening to the news and lost track of time. Let's put our Ukraine button on. Are you all doing all right? It's the beginning of the week. There's lots of drama in the news, as usual. Let's see. I want to just let you know I have a class coming up on Saturday. This is a book that I'm referencing about radically forgiving. So go to psychicandetian.com to sign up for the class on Saturday. And I'm grateful that you're here. Hello, hello, hello. I want to let you know that the Bridge Cape Band show is on hiatus for the time being, till further notice. So I'm doing pretty good. So till further notice. Thank you. Somebody gifted me with the pen. Bridge Cape Band, if you watch, we're not going to do that anymore, for at least for the time being. I want to start with some cards about Dominion. Dominion and Fox. Ready for the snowstorm. You know what's so funny? I get these notices about the snowstorm and it's like, I remember the days when it just snowed and you didn't really get this big warning. I'm getting like a notice from National Grid. There's going to be a snowstorm and, you know, look out, we're here for you in the snowstorm. And it's like, it's going to snow like 2 inches. We really need to get tougher, don't we? It's like, what a bunch of wimps. Anyway, I remember like blizzards when I was growing up. Let's take a look at some cards about Dominion. Dominion's just saying, yeah, well, we knew we were lying and we knew it was wrong, but we didn't anyway. Okay. Like, that's the kind of world that we live in now, right? 10 inches, where's Litchfield? That's Massachusetts? I don't know where that is. New York has had no snow this year. I know. And the thing is, it's like, it feels a little bit like winter starts, Northwest Connecticut. Winter starts at the end of January now. Because now it's like, Christmas time is usually fall weather. Just it doesn't really get cold until like the end of January. It's crazy. So let's take a look. I'm going to pick 3 cards about Dominion and Fox. Sorry I was late. I apologize. I was watching the news. A lot of racism coming up. And let me tell you what. The guides tell me that we don't really demonstrate love as much as we can. And when there's a lot of pressure on us in the form of hatred, we're really being called to show love, to show compassion, to exhibit that. That's what we're being shown. I'm going to turn this so you can see that I have a sign that says love multiplied above Sadhguru now. And I got that from Ken Burns. Ken Burns, a famous, documentarian. And I got his book too. He's got a really incredible book. Wait, I'm just noticing something I hadn't seen. What will happen if they pass a bill anyone who got a COVID vaccine cannot give blood or other things? I'm totally in the dark on that one. I don't know what that's about. I guess I missed that story. Maybe brief me. It's supposed to be in Montana. I got a little confused. I'm lost already. That's not good. I just started. Dominion and Fox. Dominion and Fox. Yep, they lied. They knew they were lying, and they just decided, yeah, we'll just keep lying. So, if you consider yourself a loving, compassionate person, and I know you all do, or we do our best, right? Then you're being called on to demonstrate love by standing up for people who are being singled out for torment. Okay. Dominion. This is Dominion with all the money. I mean Murdoch. This is Murdoch with all the money. That's what I meant. So scratch that. This is Murdoch with all the money. So Rupert Murdoch they're not liking, this is really the kind of feeling I get about Rupert Murdoch around this Dominion case is like, he's not used to being called out on things. He's not used to not being able to talk his way out of things, Rupert Murdoch. So this is getting him. This is like a bit of a thorn in his side. He's not used to having thorns. He's used to just having roses, Rupert Murdoch. The Two of Cups is, and I've seen this before, is Rupert Murdoch pushing for a settlement. Pushing for a settlement. Just really, I feel pressure, just take the money, just can we put this behind us kind of thing. Let's see, is that going to work? I'm not sure it's about. Banned from donating organs and blood. We'll get to whatever you're asking about COVID. I have not heard this. That's news to me. Is it gonna work that Murdoch is, according to my psychic impression, is it gonna work that Murdoch is, according to my psychic impression, attempting to get Dominion to settle for a lot of money? Oh, it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. We don't know yet. Oh, we don't. There's not an impression yet. Texas Teacher Pension Fund divested from funds that boycotted oil and gas. Divested from funds that boycotted oil and gas. Gosh, people, maybe you can send me an email, annettedion7@gmail.com to just like kind of get me up to snuff on that. Because having a hard time following what's going on in Texas there with the teacher pensions and with the COVID not being able to donate blood thing. Here in the Cumberland Plateau, Tennessee, it will be 67 degrees and sunny. I used to live really close to there. I mean, Nashville's in the Cumberland Plateau. Yeah, so what I'm getting is I'm getting that Murdoch is really, attempting to have meetings with the representatives from Dominion. My late is weird tonight. Anyway, and I feel like Murdoch is really putting the pressure on, and I don't feel like they're taking the bait. Bought a co-op in New York City for $62 million. Is that like housing? Let's ask like this, is the money that Murdoch is attempting to coerce Dominion with going to work? I'm getting no. I'm getting that it's not about the money as much for Dominion. For Dominion, it feels like it's about getting this truth story out. Look at these cards again. It usually works for Rupert Murdoch to make deals. It usually works, but it doesn't look like it's working here. And here's the thing. The story is going to have so much... The story is really going to have legs. The story of what Fox did is really going to have legs. And I think it's interesting that Tucker Carlson illegitimately received those 40,000 plus hours of surveillance video camera, I can't even believe it, footage, at the same time from Kevin McCarthy as this Dominion thing is hitting its peak. So, let me see. Is that going to have an effect? You've been waiting for this all day. Well, I'm glad to be here. Okay. All right. So let's look at what kind of effect this is going to have, because this what kind of effect that the Dominion case that's ongoing against Fox and Murdoch, what kind of effect it will have on Tucker Carlson's nefarious intent with the video surveillance. Yeah, interesting. It's going to be like, there will be people that are regular Fox watchers that are like, well, I don't know what to do with this information. Not the hardcore ones that are white supremacists that lean in that direction. Not them. But people that are like old school Republicans don't think that they're not going to know that there's a Fox case going on with Dominion. And don't think they're not going to know. In general, people that watch Fox, it's just like when the January 6th hearings were going on. I just kept saying, don't think that those people that watch Fox won't be curious enough about the insurrection hearings. They will be. I just got that they'd be curious enough that they would check it out. They wouldn't just ignore it. So there's that, and the Queen of Coins. I see Fox having less money. Yeah, Dominion's going to hold out. That's actually, yeah, well put. That's what I pick up. I pick up that they're holding out, that it's not for... Did you catch that? That's what I was saying? I don't know if I was being very clear. I get that Dominion's, they're going to hold out. I don't feel like they can be bought. I'm not picking that up. So, all right. I guess Ron just, I have a new name for Ron DeSantis. Your Queen Castro in Texas health out of cancer spot. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. People that get diagnosed with cancer nowadays have a pretty good chance of surviving. Good to see you too. Let's see. Okay, so I have a new name for DeSantis. We've been calling him DeSatan, but here's my new name, DeFascist. How hard is it for Murdoch to admit that Fox lied? Pretty hard. So on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll get to DeFascist. On a scale of, how hard was it for do you like it? DeFascist. It came to me today and I said, DeFascist is way better than DeSatan. I'm changing it. And you know that I call the GOP the insurrectionists, of which there are 147, I believe, serving in our government. Serving. They're the POF, the Party of Fascists. So how hard was it for Rupert Murdoch to tell the truth on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like really, really difficult? How hard was it for him? 1, to tell the truth. 2, 3, to admit the truth. 4, 5, 6, about 70% tough for him to tell the truth. But he had to, because it was right in front of him. They had like the text messages or whatever, the emails. It was all right there. It was all right there. So let's do this. Ron, unfortunately, his middle name is Dion. There's plenty of Dions that are wonderful, wonderful people. But Ron DeFascist has a book. And I guess it got just kind of ripped by the New York Times. Not even sure what it's called. Something about freedom. The irony of ironies. See how his book is going to do. Let's see how Ron DeFascist's book is going to do. By the way, there are kids... yeah, white boots. Yeah, white boots. That's a good name for it. Frozen. You guys you're witty tonight. How's this book gonna do? Some people are gonna use his book. Actually, Ron DeFascist thinks that he thinks that he's the king of books. Ron will buy a huge batch of books so it appears as a bestseller. I wouldn't put it past him from seeing that. Yeah. I have to reboot. Let me know if there are Wi-Fi issues. I'll reboot. Just tell me. Tell me soon. Sooner than later. So he thinks that he's the king of the books. Six of Cups. It's actually, I wonder if he's going to let the college students. Oh, I thought you were talking about Frozen, the Disney movie. That's why I was laughing. I really did. You got me all confused. The Six of Cups is, it's actually, I wonder if he's going to ban the book from the college campuses. Doubt it. Actually, I wonder if he's going to make sure that his book is all over the college campuses. I was frozen. Oh, I've been called worse. I have. So, hang on. Ron DeFascist. Oh. Ron DeFascist's book is actually going to put kind of a burden on him. What kind of burden? It's going to cause the college students to have more ammunition in terms of like the college students and Ron DeFascist's book are going to create such a contrast. If I'm not doing Cape Ann, I'll do 3 nights a week. Yes, I'm not doing Bridge Cape Ann. We hit an impasse. The only book left on the library shelves probably is Ron DeFascist's. I've always gotten that DeSatan, also known as DeFascist, would lose against Disney. He doesn't understand the United States Constitution. Let's be real, people. Do you think that these Republicans understand the United States Constitution? Do you know that they don't even know how to write a bill? Do you know that? I mean, it's okay. It's if you're not in public office and you don't know how it works to write a bill, to present for legislation, that's kind of okay because it's not your job, but it's their damn job. They don't know what the Constitution has in it. God, no. You have to be literate, be able to comprehend. You have to have comprehension skills in order to understand the Constitution, right? Middle schoolers could understand it. Probably elementary schoolers. The Courage to Be Free is DeFascist's book. Oh my gosh. I feel like he's going to have challenges selling it. Yeah, well, he probably went to Harvard because he had money. I don't know his background. I know he's Italian, but yeah, it's going to cause the college students. There will be college students that read it just out of curiosity, and it's going to give them more of a sense of unity. It's really like, yeah, DeFascist is a perfect name for him. Just popped into my head today. So there's a sense of community and rising up together, like a tribe of college kids that rise up. Teachers too. I feel like it's going to be teachers too. Professors also. Wow. Let's see. I've always seen Ron DeFascist as in trouble with the law. And so what I'm going to ask, the college kids will, some of them will read it just to find out what's in it. Just to know what I could see that. That makes total sense. You want to know the enemy, right? And he is the enemy. He's absolutely the enemy. Rise up for the fascist or the good. It's up to you. I feel like this is going to give, it's actually going to give the college students that are walking out in protest of what the fascist is doing, it's going to give them more information. It's kind of like no, if you were going to debate somebody, you would want to know a lot about how that person thinks. The college students, that's what I'm talking about. The college students. I don't remember which college it is that they've been having walkout protests, and I'm sorry, these people are paying, even if it's a state school. I mean, they have to pay something. There is a case before the Supreme Court right now that the Biden administration is trying to forgive a certain amount of student loan debt. If you cannot convince a fascist, acquaint his head with the pavement. Leon Trotsky. That's funny. All right. I'm going to switch decks. Too many decks here. Hang on. Let's take a look at the Biden administration. I don't remember what state it's in. Rise Up. I have a song named Rise Up. Oh, and speaking of that, let me interrupt this reading to tell you that I followed Marianne Williamson during her campaign. A lot of you know who she is, and have received notice that she is going to announce her candidacy for President of the United States. She's running for President, Marianne Williamson, again, and I'm very excited about that. I was in 2020 driving up to New Hampshire every time that she was there campaigning, and when you said Rise Up, that reminded me. I played a song that I wrote called Rise Up at one of her events. Anyway, I'm really excited. I'm really excited that Marianne Williamson is running for president. We need that in the campaign. What did you say? DeSantis is promoting student uprisings? That generation is too smart. I mean, unless, God forbid, they become brainwashed, which I know he's attempting that too. You voting for Biden? Well, I would think so. Because that's voting for democracy. So let's look at what's going to happen with the Biden administration's attempt to forgive some student loan debt, which is really crushing. Do you guys know what? I don't know what the name of the case is. Anyway, there's a bunch of Republicans that have gotten together and they're saying this is an attack on, this is a hardship, or this is, I don't know what they're saying that it is, because it doesn't make any sense. That, yeah, student loan debt. I mean, student uprisings against him? Wait. So Ron DeFascist is wanting students to protest against him? We'll look at that, because that could mean that he's wanting to arrest them, which is against the First Amendment. Is that what you mean? Alright, so there are some Republicans that are saying this creates unnecessary hardship on, I don't know who. It's not fair to somebody if the Biden administration is able to reduce student loan debt. Let's see how that's going to pan out. Let's see. Okay. Well, it looks like the GOP is going to stick it to the students. Sorry. This is about the student loan debt. This looks like the GOP is going to influence this decision. Which court is it? Do you guys know? They're saying it's not fair that they're rich. I don't understand the argument that they have. I just know that they're saying it's unfair in some way for the student debt to be canceled. Well, they want people to be poor. It's a Supreme Court, right? I'm just wondering where these Republicans are from. Yeah, it's the Supreme Court. I know that, but where these Republicans that want to not cancel student loan debt, where they're all from. Anyway, I'll look it up. They're going to stick it to the students. I have seen DeSatan going to jail. DeFascist DeSatan. Yeah, well, what happens in autocracies and kleptocracies and fascism is that the first step, one of the first steps, is to get the people to be desperate. To get the people to be desperate. So how you get people to be desperate is you put them in compromising positions. You make sure that they're just saddled down with so much debt. You make sure that girls, young women, that maybe they get pregnant by accident, maybe they tragically are victims of rape or incest, that, you make them desperate when you make them have a child. Yeah, when you make them, like, they're actually fighting against SNAP, food stamps, formerly known as the welfare program that feeds people that are having a hard time, that are disabled, that are elderly. They're wanting to take away food stamps. They're wanting young girls that become pregnant, there's many different circumstances where they cannot afford. God, it really does cost a lot of money to have a child. Look it up. What the average cost of raising a child and needing childcare and the whole, soup to nuts of all that is extremely expensive. A lot of them stole the COVID relief funds. I can't tell you how many times I've said I have seen, when I really look at it, how much the American people are being robbed blind. So don't be blind. That's why they don't want you to be woke. Anyway, the student loan debt issue, they're gonna stick it to. The GOP is gonna stick it to. They want girls to wear skirts and dresses going to SCOTUS. Yeah, they're trying to pull us back into the dark ages. The moon, be extremely emotional. Now, like I started early on, I was saying all this hatred is a call for us to, it's really motivating to rise up in love, and also to rise up and decide that we're not going to take it anymore. This is why in Grassroots of Democracy we're fighting so hard to get back to restore voting rights. The chariot means that people will act quickly to protest this, to protest the fascist party trying to take away this program where student loan debt will have relief. The people that are being crushed by it will have relief. It's hard to believe this is the United States of America. Thank you for saying that, because I really am making a very concerted, strong effort to get people to see this is not democracy. I know you know that, but I think when we've been programmed, I always try to make SNAP only provide canned tuna, no fresh meat or vegetables. But for the grace of God, most of us aren't in that position. Right? But any of us at any moment could have that happen where we just have nothing. Think about it. So fascism is about getting the people to a state where they're desperate, and then the fascists can just play with you, like little kittens playing with a toy. We're not having it. We were founded on a strong democracy. We were founded on, we've had a pretty strong democracy. It's been very strong. And we have that to build on. It could happen overnight, right? Look at these people that have a tornado. How about the people in Ohio? where the train derailed, did all those toxins. There are people that have built their businesses from the ground up that have been there for decades. Another wacky week, news, weather, you name it. I was witnessing behind me. Some of you that follow me, regularly know that I've mentioned behind me. There's an old YMCA. They built a new one, so they're tearing this other one down, and it's been very noisy here during the day. It's kind of unbearable. I have to kind of move what I do. Anyway, I'm looking at this building being like demolished with this big dinosaur like thing, truck or whatever. Demolishing it, piece by piece, taking bites out of it, and I'm thinking, yeah, that really reflects the times that we're in. The Republicans come in and think the fascists come in and think that they can do this all now because they took advantage of the time that people were asleep and weren't paying attention, right? So they got in and they started changing all the rules, like redistricting. Like I was listening to somebody today, I forget what it was, some news, talking about the redistricting. And remember when I thought Mandela Barnes would win over Ron Johnson, and then when I found out that Ron Johnson actually was declared the winner, that he didn't really win, they gerrymandered the hell out of Wisconsin. So amazing. It's just that for decades we were asleep. For decades people weren't involved in politics. Remember, think back. And that's how they got ahead, because the Republicans have been working, pounding away at our democracy for 40 years at least. Probably longer. Let's see. I'm going to ask about democracy. So anyway, it looks like with the student loan debt forgiveness program, the fascists are going to shoot it down. And it's hard. It's devastating. Because what the people want, we're seeing, we're not getting. But the chariot indicated there will be a lot of fast movement after that. It feels like lawyers and politicians, like Democrats, rushing ahead with, taking action against that. I'm not sure what they can do, but it seems like there are some adjustments and interferences that will be had there. Anyway, I'm asking about our democracy. The emperor, our democracy still has some good leadership. The emperor and the king of pentacles. I see the queen of wands. Strong Democrats. This indicates strong Democrats. Yeah. So yeah, the electric storm. Good for you. It's very important. And you know what? I literally get in trouble. I don't mean real trouble. I mean, I just people have a problem with me being so intense about our democracy. I'm not joking. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I did post a meditation for Ukraine yesterday. I hope you get a chance to listen to that and meditate. The only reason that I get the way that I get is because it's so important. It's like, wake up! You had 5 COVID vaccines? Just donated blood last Friday. What is this that I'm hearing about that? You can't give blood. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I do feel like, we have strong Democrats. We do. We have the tools. When I think about how many organizations, because we have Grassroots of Democracy, and please join. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. You'll love us. We have fun. We meet on Thursday nights and we meet on Saturday also. So, thank you, Lois. I needed that today. She said, I think you're so passionate about what you believe. That's a good thing. I just needed to hear that from somebody today because, reminds me of when I, moved to the South and people told me I needed to be more sugar-coated. It really hurt my feelings. Thank you, Joe G. It looks like democracy, we've got a lot of organizations now. Grassroots of Democracy, we have Midas Touch, we have, there's too many to name. and we demand justice. We and Swing Blue Alliance. I attended one of their meetings last night. Joined Swing Blue Alliance. Thank you, Nero. I appreciate it. So frustrating. You've been trying to get in for half an hour? Oh, you know what? Let me just tell you about that. I'm always on Monday and I'm always on Friday, and sometimes I'm running late. So just check my channel and you'll see. Sometimes sugar just covers the bitter. Yes, that's true. But I am serious. I am serious. Let me just tell you. When I moved to Nashville in the early 90s, being a Yankee girl, you know, I'm from New England. We're a little hard, you know. And I was working at a little coffee shop, lunch place, and one of the waitresses said, I was like, I don't know why people seem like they don't like me. And she said, I think you just need to be a little more sugar coated. And I wasn't being mean or anything. Hit the thumbs up, please. Thank you. It looks like our democracy is strong. So join the groups. And, you know, Michael Moore sends out newsletters. Substack. There's a lot of great writers on Substack. I mentioned Marianne Williamson is running for president. Somebody just mentioned they have family that are on the right, but they get along pretty good. That's good because you have righties in your family, you get along, nice discussions. That's really good because that is the way in. Yeah, we need to be passionate. Marianne Williamson is very passionate, you know, so I'm grateful that she's running for president because I met all the people that were on her campaign trail. And I did make an effort to go every time she was in New Hampshire. So what I learned from following Marianne Williamson when she was running for president, what I learned was there are a lot of spiritual people out there. You don't have to say you're sorry you're late. I don't take attendance. Let's see. So speaking of, just because I was talking about democracy, the fundamental thing that we're working on right now is like Wisconsin, because of the election there on April 4th, is that we do everything that you can to help that election in Wisconsin because this Dan Kelly is total fascist. Wants to take away women's rights, wants to take away all of it. So you're all being feeling me that you learn things that make you glad you aren't speaking. Well, you know, we do what we can. If you decide to do phone banking or, you know, something like that with Wisconsin or with any of the elections there's always elections somewhere. If you can kind of connect on your values, on what's important. What's important is that everyone has a fair shot, right? I was watching a program about Obama and his campaign and what happened and, you know, all that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, not that many years, maybe 15, 20 years, this country has changed so much. Helping others, helping even like in the Midwest, helping farmers. You have to understand, these people are watching Fox. Now let's be grateful that Fox is being exposed for all the lies. Meet people on the level of their values. And if they're really Christian, then they want to help one another because that's what it's all about. Oh, did somebody mention forgiveness? Radically Forgiving is the class that I'm teaching on Saturday. Please join us. Go to my website. I've taken material from that book by Colin Tipping, Tipping. Tipping, like you can tip me. I have a tip jar. It's in the description. Book reading, take a class. Thank you, Joe G, for all your helping me market. I'm launching a lot of new things coming up in the very near future that I'll tell you about. There's always something going on. What else do I need to read about? Let's read about this is, you know, like the first thing that I think about that's kind of daunting is, you know, when I get up in the morning, it's like, I hope that China's behaving. I read on China. Yeah, thanks. I read on China on Friday, and I got the sense that China is just showing up to the table because they said they would. So, yeah, there's common ground. There's common ground with speaking to people that have been Republicans that aren't seeing the light and that have been watching Fox. I'm going to pull 3 cards about where China's at because I do feel that they're bluffing. Many people are dying. Dying where? Yeah, there's a lot of people dying in a lot of places. So it's kind of sad. Betty's saying many people are dying there. They need our prayers badly, and I'm going. Oh, in China, okay. Because there's many people dying in a lot of places right now. Yes, be grateful. Actually, that's a really good point, and I do my best to make that point. Forgiveness just means freeing yourself of feeling all that grief and all that hard stuff. Did you read that book a long time ago? Oh, I haven't finished it. Joanna's saying that she read that book. Joanna's saying she read this book, and after you're done, you're supposed to pass it on, but I didn't get to that part yet. I didn't know. I could pass it on. I got it from thrift books. Well, does that say that at the end or something? This is China and Russia. 4 of Swords. Four of Swords, this is about China and Russia. The 4 of Swords is like, this is not a healthy card. This is like, they're not in a healthy place. And I think I mean literal health. And they're trying to figure out how to look stronger. I feel like some kind of communication is going to open up. I'm kind of feeling like the conversation that Biden had with President Xi will have, it holds water. You know what I mean? It holds water. So this is not the card of moving forward. It's just what we did back then, passed it forward. Remember that when people were kind? Remember when people were kind? There's a lot of kind people still. So China is, not in a good position to be handing out weaponry. And what Joe Biden said to President Xi holds water. So not so fast. That's what I'm getting. Not so fast. I'm not sure why China would be doing this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why China would be doing this. Let's. In fact, that's why we're here, right? That's why we're here, to figure it out. Why is China doing this? Time for some tea. Why is China doing this? See what we get. When you think about the Trumpsters, and I'll get to this China thing in a second. When you think about the people that are Trumpsters, understand that this is a fascist ploy also, is to get people, and just speaking of forgiveness, if people don't get in touch with their grievances and the ways that they, were treated unjustly, because that's the part of being human, right? If people don't get in touch with that and they're not able to express it, and this can go on for years, and then someone comes along and goes, yeah, they did it to you, yeah, they did it to you, and plays the victim, people that don't know any better get sucked into that, and that's how the Trumpsters got sucked into Trump. I was thinking today, and consider too that Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say, when you squeeze an orange, what do you get? You don't get apple juice, you get orange juice. You get what's in there, right? So if people are being nasty and name-calling, see, Trump gave them permission, kind of. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's the same way. And then he's doing it, and then it's kind of like given permission. Yeah, it's Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping is the name of the book. It gives them permission. Like, the President of the United States gets up there and he starts making fun of disabled people and calling people horrible, horrible, horrible names. Did you hear what he called Jack Smith lately? I was watching Midas Touch and Ben Mysalis was going through the list of names that Trump has called Special Counsel Jack Smith. It'll make your hair curl. They project their shadow. Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah, Wayne Dyer used to say, if you squeeze an orange, what do you get? If you squeeze you, what do you get? Something to think about. Yeah, a lot of this, had to come to light. So, and when the war broke out in Ukraine, when Putin attacked Ukraine, my guide said, everybody for us all to check our hearts, and wherever we're holding resentments to release them, because we're better channels for more love to channel through if we've dealt with the darkness. I mean, we come here to yeah, he's been calling Jack all kinds of names. We come here to experience betrayal. Yeah, and Ben Mysalis was talking about he was talking about how much of this can be used in a court of law against Donald Trump. I'm still on China. Hang on, I know I keep jumping around. So much to talk about. Glad you're here. It's always nice to hang out. I have a tip jar in the description if you're so inclined. Oh, and the reason that I put a lot of time into doing these live streams is also because I'd like for you to book a reading. So it's psychic.dion.com. Because this is my income. This is what I do. I'd appreciate it. It's a win-win. It's a win-win-win. I think Biden is holding up better. If someone's asking about Biden's health, I think he's holding up better than I would. I'm impressed with him. We come here to experience betrayal, yes, because betrayal treats us, we get treated bad, we get betrayed, and how we respond to it, ultimately how we respond to it is it gives us a lot of growth. Really quick story, I know I keep telling stories, but really quick story is that, the Dalai Lama meditates daily. I've heard him say this, and he meditates daily on forgiving the Chinese that caused a genocide. They participated in genocide of his people. And because that's total spiritual growth. I mean, in the whole Christ story of forgive them for they know not what they do, that's betrayal. The ultimate betrayal, right? So China, I feel like that's going to be really not okay for China to keep talking about helping Putin. But I keep on getting this feeling that they made some kind of a promise. I think they'll give Russia something. I don't feel like it would be enough. Yeah, that's what I know about betrayal. I mean, the harder of a life. I know it's crazy. But the harder of a life that somebody has, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm just saying, this is what I have absorbed from my spiritual, lifelong quest of spiritual learning, is the people that have had it really the roughest, and they're able, by some miracle and grace of God, they're able to transcend it and heal it and go beyond it. Those are the real, and they have a chance to be enlightened, right? To attain enlightenment, because that's the hardest thing, is to forgive terrible, terrible things. Anyway, come to my class. I'll talk more about that. The Hierophant, the Page of Swords. It looks like China promised Putin something. There was kind of a, what do they call it? Why is that slipping my mind? I keep wanting to say coup d'etat. Remember the quid pro quo? How many times they said that? Quid pro quo. I remember doing PNNs back then when Trump made the perfect call to Zelensky. Gosh, it seems like it was so long ago. It wasn't that long ago. I feel like there was an agreement between President Xi and Russia. Like they were doing favors for each other. I really do feel like this is China having to repay something. I don't feel like it's going to like be a game changer. Most Americans still call Trump president, and when referring to President Biden, just Biden. It depends on who you talk to. Joanne, doesn't it? It depends on what you talk to. Yeah, and I wrote to MSNBC and I said, stop calling Trump President Trump. It goes a long way what people hear repeatedly, which is also a fascist tactic. Let's just... You notice how many things I've identified that have to do with fascism in this short time we've had together thus far? It's incredible. And I don't know about all of you, but it makes my blood boil what Ron DeFascist is doing in Florida. He's making... I never called Trump president either. He's making Florida... I mean, the irony of him having a book, Ron DeFascist, the irony of him having a book about freedom... Texas, and if you've been following me, I have been talking about Florida having a huge dark cloud. Darren's recovering. What are you recovering from? You okay? Since I'm on the topic, I'm going to read for Florida. I was telling people, don't move to Florida. Because I just saw really bad energy there. And so if you're there, you'll be fine. But it's just going to take a while. Oh, is the spelling thing? Wait. Darren, you good? Does it say Darren? Just checking, because he said something about recovering. We're sending you white light and healing, because that's what we do here. Ah, yeah, you're recovering. You're good. Take a lot of vitamin C. You're good. Stop calling him Joe Biden here. Yeah, if anybody earned the role of presidency, let's talk about who earned it. Jeez. What am I reading on? I forgot. Oh, I'm reading about Florida. Oh, yeah. Oh, Florida. Oh, my goodness. I don't mean to do... All right, who lives in Florida? Let me know if you live in Florida. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I've never heard of a woman named Darren. Sorry. I really haven't. Now I know. You enlightened me. Thank you for enlightening me. We had Fireside Psychic on the other night, and I was automatically just... Most psychics, not all, but I think if you took a poll, most psychics tend to be female. So I was assuming, and Fireside Psychic is a male. You met two women to name Kevin? Just 1 mile from the Gulf. Okay, alright, so Miss Orchid's Garden, let me just break it to you gently. I'm asking about Florida and what's going to happen to Florida because of Ron DeFascist. He's going to let people go through massive hardship. I've never met a woman named Kevin. It's interesting. Ron DeFascist is going to put people through holy hell. Just get ready. Get active. Get him out of there. He gerrymandered and redistricted the whole state so he would win. I mean, I don't like to hear people on the news saying, oh, well, he won by so much. He won because he made sure that he gerrymandered the hell out of Florida. Yeah, Joe Biden, man. Ron did steal the money. He said, did Ron steal that money? I'm like, that money? Oh, he stole all of it. Did you know after Hurricane Ian, he was saying, don't send stuff, just send money. I'm like, yeah. Right after I heard a news anchor say, we need everything that was on site. We need everything, we need everything, we need clothes, we need everything. So as far as Florida goes, people will die because of Ron DeFascist. They already have. He's trying to isolate Florida. That's what fascists do. And there's going to be a lot of heartache. Now, I'll pull a few more cards to make you feel better about Florida, but I think that this is kind of like self-evident. I think we can see that this is going on right now. Chuck is writing a quote, putting up a quote about a child's life. Let's pray for the children of Ukraine, by the way. Can we call him Bad AZ, Badass Biden after his trip to Ukraine? We should be doing a lot more of that. There's a guy in your class named Leslie. Leslie's more common for a man. There was a guy in my class named Leslie too. Okay. Gosh, Florida. Sorry. You gotta get rid of him. I'm going to pick 3 more cards for Florida because, I mean, any of you who read cards, this is what's going to happen to Florida. And I think a lot of this, besides people dying from COVID, which has already happened because of Ron DeFascist, he doesn't care if people suffer. I hate to tell you this, but Ron DeFascist doesn't care if people suffer. In fact, it makes him happy. Where's my Florida person? I just want better news for you, but I don't have it. I even turned my light up. Let's see. It's amazing they don't rebel against him. And that's what I was saying about Texas, too. I know it's not easy. And I know people have legs, but you know what I said? Early on. If you feel like you're too busy to do anything to save democracy, I was just saying early on, a few years ago, maybe less than that. The reason we have such busy lives is because we are in a democracy. Ron DeSatan has no compassion. The cruelty is indeed the point. The cruelty is indeed the point. And so, just like in Texas, oh yeah, Carol O'Connor, right, from All in the Family. You guys are all talking about names that are man and woman names. Yeah, Florida. Let's pick 3 more cards about Florida. I am sorry, it's bad. So as far as Texas goes, when there was a blackout and people literally froze to death, and Greg Abbott was doing nothing and Ted Cruz was going to Cancun, and people were asking if that was going to happen again, and I said, yes, I can't believe that nobody's doing anything. I was really begging people in Texas to do something. DeFascist. So I'm pulling 3 more cards for Florida because that was just so dire. That was just so dire. Oh, okay. Well, so continuing on, Texas people do nothing. Absolutely. I mean, they just let the, okay, well, if the power goes out, it'll go out if we freeze to death. Come on. We know that LA just had snow. LA just had snow. So Texas could have a snowstorm. It's not like it could happen. Anyway, I'm still in Florida. Sorry, I'm moving slow. Because I wanted more to the story about Florida. Well, I have the death card for Florida and the King of Swords. This looks like that the law, something's going to come in to save the people of Florida. The Six of Pentacles. It's actually going to eventually, what Ron DeFascist is doing is actually going to get people eventually out of desperation to come together to do something. And I was thinking about those college students protesting DeFascist, those Florida students, and I thought, these college students, these are the generations that have grown up with school shootings. They don't have tons of fear in terms of, what They've been forced to be courageous. Honestly, if it was me, I probably wouldn't go to school. If when I was school age, if when I was going to school, we were having shooting drills, I think I would have requested to be homeschooled. These kids, these college age kids, have been growing up in the school shooting era. Are we talking about being sugar coated? Yeah. It's not easy. I try to be nice. My microphone wire was sticking up from the right side of my head. I don't have a microphone wire. Well, I don't know what you're seeing because I don't have a microphone wire. Nope. I'm not using a microphone. Okie dokie, Schmokey, who has a question? We have a half an hour. I do 90 minutes on Monday and 90 minutes on Friday. My hair is always sticking out. I'll have a little curl here. I'll have an errant strand here. What are you going to do? That's just all over the place. If you need a lift, if you need an uplift, you know what I do? I've told you guys this. I go to some old sitcoms like, I don't know, Betty White and B. Arthur, the Golden Girls. I watched all the episodes of Cheers. I watched Bob Newhart's show. I mean, if you need to uplift yourself, okay, I will go to Georgia. If you need to uplift yourself and you go to the old sitcoms, even like, I mean the old ones like Carol Burnett and that kind of stuff, or old Saturday Night Live, that's when I have had it up to here. The Big Bang is funny. When I've had it up to here with, I have to stay aware of the news, we all do, because we have to know what needs to be done and do it. So we don't, fall into fascism. We don't, we can't be complacent. None of us can afford that. Truly, none of us can afford that. Just watch sitcoms. It really helps. Yeah, just watch the silliest 70s show is really funny, Disney movies, slapstick, whatever. Because it helps you. It brings balance. Don't forget chocolate. I'm all for that. Where's my bell? Don't forget the chocolate. Because I recognize that when I'm out of balance, I need to get it back in balance. So when you've had too much of one thing, like if you eat too many cookies, then eat a lot of vegetables. You know what I mean? And so when you have too much news, to balance it out, you got to have some laughter. You got to have some fun to balance it out. Watch who? AbFab? I've never heard of it. The thing about the old sitcoms is like, life was so simple back then. Okay, somebody wants me to read about, alright, Donald Trump, here we go, Donald Trump. Today I was reflecting on the name Trump, meaning Trump, like, it can, like, dominate everything. The word Trump means dominate everything. It ends with Trump. McCarthy, being McCarthy, it's like the McCarthy era. It's interesting when you look at people's names. Senator Whitehouse is appropriately named. Your Little Margie 1950s, I don't know that one. Yeah, look them up. They're all available now. Hulu has a lot of them. Georgia. Donald Trump in Georgia. Ooh, what a burden. Ooh, what a burden. I have 3 cups. That means we're celebrating. It's been a rough ride, but look at the burden for Trump. It's a financial burden. There's a finger mark going across my screen. There is? You're spooking me out. What do you mean a finger mark? What's a finger mark? Oh, I didn't know what you meant by finger mark. No worries. It's just light. Oh, you mean like a watermark? It's just light. It's the light from the angels in the heavens. Oh, I'm sorry. Try to pay attention. Don't be distracted. We're doing the news. Is that all right? Is that better? To continue, can you guys focus, or are you all distracted by that? I see it. All right, I know. I want you to pay attention, so I'm gonna see what I can do. I can't. I guess it's the heavens. It's the heavenly light. I'm not really here. I'm really in heaven. I'm just kidding. I've time traveled my way in from heaven. Anyway, about Georgia. This is the burden that this is for. It's a halo. This is the burden it is for Trump. I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna worry about like it's. Oh my goodness. You guys are cracking me up. The Three of Cups. We're celebrating what's going to happen in Georgia. On TV, the light should be in front of you. You're going to get me all sidetracked now. You're going to get me all sidetracked. Thank you. Jeez. Yes, Georgia. Yeah. I'm going to read a little bit more about Georgia too. I see the Seven of Swords, the now the Swords card, and then the celebration. I'm going to read specifically about Trump and Georgia. The Five of Swords. Yeah, he's really distraught. He thinks that he... What is this? He thinks... It's really weird because he thinks... It's really strange. He's really burdened. But Trump does this thing where he gets into this delusional... He gets into this delusional thing. The strength of the case in Georgia is really, yeah, I don't think he's going to be able, in the face of everything that's going on, he's the the Five of Swords. That's a very painful card. So, I'm going to ask the pendulum. Are those positive cards for Georgia? Those positive cards are for Georgia. I always have this sense of Trump being on the phone. It's really strong. I always have this sense that he's on the phone, seeing if he can call in favors, but that he's run out. And let me just recount to you all a vision that I had about Trump a while back. It was a few years back. He might have even still been president. He was. And this is what the guides showed me. They showed me Trump at the end of his life. And at the end of his life, in this vision, I saw him, it looked like he was in a wheelchair, out of it, and some kind of a facility. And the guide said to me very clearly, his karma, because I've picked up that he was Mussolini in his past life. So I picked up that the karma from that was that this lifetime, he would never know love. He would never know love. And when you look at it, that man has never known love. He doesn't know how to be loving. He's never known love. And then what really struck with me too was that he would die penniless and friendless. He would be completely isolated and alone. And that's the take that I got on Trump from my guides a few years ago. And it makes sense, too, that because of him, we would definitely be forced to save our democracy. Yeah, he's a narcissist. And I'm going to pick 3 cards about the outcome in Georgia. Here, I'm getting that Ace of Pentacles again. Oh, yeah. Fani Willis will emerge victorious. And then it gets passed on to another. It's like there's so many crimes. So it gets passed on to. You got the 3 of Cups, too. That's interesting. So, so the court battles then go to the next court, which looks like Letitia James. So it's going to be like, the guides are showing me, it's like when you go to the carnival and you go on one ride and then you're like, oh, that was one ride, and then it's like he's going to go do the circuit, going round and round in court. So, round and around in court. Let's take a look at Jack Smith. Was there a question that you asked that I didn't get to? Let me know. We have 10 minutes. Jack Smith. Still working hard. That man is fearless. Jack Smith is fearless. Lawrence Aguilar, the website has a... Yeah, definitely. Anetdion7@gmail.com if you want to reach out to me. You certainly may do that. Jack Smith, all right, well, once again, I'm getting that he needs information that is not, he has plenty of information, but, okay, let me just put it to you straight. He's getting threats, but we know that, right? He's getting threats, and that's kind of holding up the works. It's very, very tragic what Jack Smith is seeing. The 4 of Cups is people not testifying, which is Jack Smith is running into some stuff. I'm not saying he's not going to prosecute, but he's definitely running into some stuff with people lying and threatening. It's not going to stop him. Spirit guides of Ukraine are the Divine Mother and Saint Michael the Archangel. When I visited the Hopi Reservation in Arizona, I bought a t-shirt that said, "Don't worry, be Hopi." I love it. That's great. That's great. Let's pick a few more cards about Jack Smith, because that seemed kind of dire. We need to send a lot of positive energy to Jack Smith. I was picking up on his past lifetime. I'm trying to remember what it was that I was picking up on. Marjorie Taylor Greene was in the Confederacy. Just thought I'd throw that out there. She was a Confederate general. Yeah, pray for Jack Smith to be surrounded by white light. I'm getting like lots of death threats. Lots of death threats. Lots of death threats. And more to the story. Yeah. Once things get rolling, they'll get better. But right now, yeah, it's emotional. Well, Merrick Garland, what they're going through, they're human beings. It's pretty emotional. Yeah. It's not that they can't handle it, but it's, it's just like, if somebody bullies you or they give you a big, insult, it doesn't matter how tough you are. Archangel Michael watches over Ukraine, yeah. It doesn't matter how tough you are. You're a human being. And when there's death, heinous death threats coming at you and your family, a lot of the Democrats are going through that. So let's just ask now, what about the cases that Jack Smith is working on? Will they bear fruit soon? Yes. Yes. The Emperor and the Empress. This is the United States. The Empress is the United States. This is our democracy. Yeah, it's not. They're going through some. They're going. Yeah, they worry for their families. The guides are showing me that if you if you knew the half of it, Garland, a joke has more than he needs. The Senate committee did his work. I don't know why you're saying that. We don't call people a joke around here. Guilty as charged. I call Ron DeSantis Ron DeFascist, but he earned that title. Wielders of the wrench. Apparently I need more. The Emperor and the Empress is the Empress represents the United States. And the Emperor represents the strength of the presidency, the actual presidency. Yeah, look what happened to Nancy's husband, exactly. So the result will be positive, but we probably should do a meditation where we send the DOJ white light. Oh, which reminds me that every Tuesday we have the 20 on Tuesdays meditation. 20 minutes of a guided meditation. Yeah, the courts are very slow. Well, let's just look at it this way. Gene saying, who's threatening Jack Smith, Russia, or American Mafia? I hate to break it to you, but we have been at war with Putin for the past 7 years. And Putin has people doing his work. Do you remember when Hillary Clinton... Do you remember during the debates that Hillary Clinton said directly to Trump's face, "You're Putin's puppet"? Do we all remember that? She said, "Oh, well, you're Putin's puppet." Yeah. She knew. And since then, Russia has been infiltrating the United States of America, brainwashing people through Fox, Tucker, you could say it with an F. Tucker has been advocating for helping Putin. Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks that, I don't know if it was her, but is saying that Putin needs to win or something crazy like that. I'm just paraphrasing. Yeah, she would say something crazy about that. Anyway. You voted for her and was sick when she... Yeah, man. I was watching a show about Obama the other night. It's on HBO. You may have seen it. It's amazing how far we have fallen. But to the degree that we have fallen so far is to the degree that we can rise up and more. Here I am saying rise up again. And then there was some Republican representative who was literally said, I forget what YouTube I saw this on, literally said that Putin needs to invade America. The words came out of this representative's mouth. I wish that I saved it, but I guess I was too horrified. So we have people, our American brothers and sisters, are wanting to have war. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying what they desire is to have war on their fellow citizens. Just since I dropped that on you, I'm going to read about that because it's very daunting. Because, I have images of Rwanda, and I'm not saying that's going to happen. It's just that I'm just making the case it has happened in other countries where the country's own people turn on each other. And that's what they want, That's what they say they want. Putin is threatening NATO's nukes now. He's insane. He is insane. Yeah, Glenn Beck said it too. Yeah. I'm going to just pick 3 cards about that. There are more of us. That's true. There are more of us. I don't mean to frighten you. Now we have the Now we're more evolved in the sense that now we know how to work with energy. That's true. We'll be okay. Enough of us will be loud enough that we'll be okay. They showed a rally of pro-Russian people in D.C. Yeah, there are people in the United States of America that are waving the Russian flag. Do not go back to sleep. Please hit the thumbs up before you leave tonight. Our voices need to get a lot louder, and they will. I mean, when I really think about it, I'm amazed at how many organizations fighting to save our democracy have popped up. There are a lot. Yeah, there are a lot. Oh, I have 10 more minutes. What do you want to ask me? Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, if you haven't already, if you could. And please, book a reading, psychicannetdion.com. I read your life purpose. I help you with challenges. I see past lives. I do mediumship. It's all there. I read the tarot. I use my clairvoyant gift. psychicannetdion.com. If you're feeling lost, we all feel lost sometimes, right? If you're feeling directionless, if you're feeling really challenged, it will really help you. And I'm also a spiritual life coach too. Okay. Joji is on it. She's really doing a great job. I appreciate that. Just to remind you, on Wednesday, Bridge Cape Ann, we're not doing the show until further notice. I do my best, Patty. Thanks. I do my best to keep us connected. We need to support each other energetically, especially. Remember, we live in an energy world now. It's not like the 1930s. How long will Kevin McCarthy be in office? You know what? I was reading... Hang on the McCarthy thing. We need to counter the... Thank you, Patty. We need to counter the Russian rhetoric. We need to counter that. We really have got to do that. Yeah, things will work out. So... What's going to happen with these pro-Putin? When you think about it, what Putin has done to the Ukrainian people, they're stealing the Ukrainian children. Corey will be doing something. I'm not sure what. I won't get into the bridge thing. Yes, we need to put in time every single day. What's going to happen with these? I mean, what they're actually advocating for is genocide. What's going to happen with the Russians in America? The people in America that are pretending that they are Russians. Yeah, so Alextra Storm is saying she can't believe that people in Florida don't mind paying for Disney now. Yes, I'm still going to be here for sure. I'm still going to be here doing readings, absolutely. Okay, so the Two of Swords is kind of like, wow, we've never seen this before. We've never seen Americans that want Russia to invade us. I love Corey too. On Friday I did read about Louis DeJoy, and I read that he doesn't even want to be the Postmaster General anymore. I think he's getting really tired of it. And I've read before that I get like around April he would be ousted from the Postal Service, but I tend to call things early. I've just noticed that. We all love Corey. Corey's a love. Corey's got a lot going on. It's going to be a bit challenging to deal with these people that are siding with Putin in the United States. It's going to be challenging. The guide said DeJoy will be leaving. I feel like I keep on answering that same question. Around April. I think there's a delay. Tell you about Alex Murdaugh. I can't really watch Alex Murdaugh, that trial. I can't get into listening to trials. I think it's heinous, and I just don't want to get into that. I did the reading. You did, yeah, Lords. I probably forgot to run the card. Thank you for letting me know that I didn't charge you. You think readers say Adam Schiff will be what? Okay. Lords, I don't still have your number. Can you email me at netdion7@gmail.com? I mean, I have to look it up. Or I'll look it up. Yes, and actually, thanks, be grateful. I'm grateful that you mentioned Rachel Maddow's Ultra. As much as Rachel Maddow freaks me out sometimes, her podcast, the Ultra podcast, we all need to listen to it. Are you saying that you don't want Adam Schiff? Hang on, I'm getting confused now. I think Adam Schiff would be great for Senator of California. Yeah, I can't watch the Alec Murdaugh trial. Yeah, and just mentioning the Murdaugh trial, I don't understand why when I wanted to know what the news was, that I kept on turning it on and they were showing me that trial. That did not help it. That didn't help me. Go to Midas Touch. They have the news. Adam Schiff would be the best senator. Really, really, really. He's a man with the experience and the brains. Yeah, Katie Porter's younger. You know, her day in the sun's coming. I guess it's time to pull 3 cards to tie you over. Come to our 20 on Tuesdays by going to my website and signing up, or I think you can sign up on grassrootsofdemocracy.com to attend our meeting. And then after we do the meditation, whoever wants to stay, we go over the readings from Church of Spirituality from Sunday. Please book a reading. I offer a lot for free, and if you book readings, it really helps me and it helps you. It's a win-win. Annette Dion, psychic@dion.com. Our class, just to remind you, or if you just came on, I have a class. I moved my chair and I'm on the book. I have a class that's based on this book on Saturday. We all have stuff to forgive. It can change your life. We all do. Nobody's exempt from that. Every day you have an opportunity to forgive. Yeah, Katie Porter's got plenty of time. Let's just pick 3 cards. Hit the thumbs up if you can, please. And of course, I have Church of Spirituality. If you need spiritual upliftment, check that out. All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. I actually forget what else I'm offering. So if you go to psychic@dion.com, it's all there. Oh, and yeah, this is what I forgot to tell you. If you book a reading, I am going to send you the free gift of the 2023 lunar calendar that was sketched by my artist niece, who's 21. And it's a lunar calendar, so you'll know what the moon's doing. People keep asking me if Jamie Raskin is all right, and well, he has cancer, and he's going to be fine. Thank you for coming. As far as the next few days, yeah, there's some stuff coming up that's going to make us upset. Are we getting snow? I haven't stepped out yet, probably. We're supposed to get snow. We have been getting snow the past several days. Church of Spirituality. Yes, I greatly appreciate your thumbs up. Greatly, greatly, greatly. Somehow it helps me. I need to understand that stuff more. Yeah, we're going to see some stuff that's going to make our hearts ache. But the 10 of Cups says, and then it's going to be okay. I'm wondering if Jimmy Carter might pass. I don't predict death, though. There's something coming up that's going to make us feel sad. But then we'll come together in love. And because I don't predict when death happens, I'm not going to go there. Thank you, Patty. And so once again, 20 on Tuesdays tomorrow. Join us for our guided meditation. We'll send light to the DOJ. We do that. You hate snow this time of year. We've barely had any snow. We can't complain. Yeah, I think we might see that President Carter might. That kind of feels like the Three of Swords and the other was it the Ten of Swords? Yeah, it's gonna be hard. He was such a good man. Because it's any day now, right? Thank you. Jamie Raskin will be fine. He's good. Namaste. See you soon. Thank you for all your support. I do read your lovely comments. It's just a lot of work to go through them all, but I do see them. All right. See you soon. Namaste. Have a great night. Bye.